become a buzz word, especially in the COVID era, even though teleophthalmology is there for so many years in terms of innovations. So I'll just, in this talk, I'll just talk about what is this concept, especially how it is become an opportunity for us. And this opportunity, and then definitely there are teleconsultation guidelines that has been brought out by the Ministry of India immediately as soon as the lockdown started, and what is it important for us, and how a teleophthalmology portal at LV Prasad Eye Institute, how we actually accommodated this system in various ways. And also we have also prepared an ophthalmology indications that can be managed at, because LVPI has a primary and secondary and tertiary, a pyramidal model, how one can have specific indications that can be managed at primary, secondary and specialty specific, which can be managed by teleconsultation alone. And how one giving a simple instructions, an image of how a smartphone and also visual acuity apps that can be integrated in the teleophthalmology portal. So when we look at what is telehealth, so telehealth as for the WHO, it is actually healing from a distance. So when we routinely, we do see a lot of encounters with our patients, either an investigation review through email or a WhatsApp. Sometimes attendant gets the reports, answering patient phone calls, and sometimes second opinions which keep happening from a doctor to doctor, a resident to doctor, or sometimes in a network model, it can happen from either an optometrist or a vision technician to doctor. So all these are actually a form of telehealth, which we are trying to reach the and provide the care to the patient. When the lockdown started in the corona, where we used to have a 1500 footfall every day, and suddenly it became 50. So naturally, that all the patients were started calling with the telephonic call. And what we have done is, the basic important thing is having an appropriate electronic health record. So that actually was a preparation that saved us, especially during this lockdown. So where we could actually have a proper teleconsult system that could be placed when the phone calls received in the form of a triage, and we could actually reach a flow in a way that the doctors could actually talk to the patient and also provide the necessary advice. So three important things that could be achieved during this lockdown at the initial form, just by telephonic based counseling, was that first important thing was triage, especially if the new patients called and if they had an emergency problem, and we could actually give them a report by SMS and also by email, saying that yes, you have an emergency problem and you need actually to come to the hospital immediately, and that they could use it as a permission to the police to allow them to come to our premises. And then second thing was the reassurance, especially you have operated all the patients, and it could be a simple subconjunctival hemorrhage, with just by having, after talking to them in a proper teleconsultation protocol which was integrated to their number, and we could actually see their WhatsApp photograph images and could counsel them and say that, okay, this problem, no need to worry. So the kind of reassurance could be provided. And third important condition was mainly the management of medication, whether you want to continue the drops or you want to change the drop, or some drop is not available in an alternate brand. So these were the immediate thing that could be the response, which could happen similar, almost around 3000 patients we could actually reach them in the immediate phase of the lockdown. And during this process, we also had this telemedicine practice guidelines, which was brought about. So the consent was also incorporated when we have put this teleconsulting system. And teleconsultation guidelines also have definitely HIPAA Act, the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. Many restrictions have been removed. Previously, we were not supposed to, there were a lot of legal implications when we do consultations through WhatsApp and everything, but now those restrictions have been removed, except that we should not be using public place facing platforms such as Facebook Live or TikTok, because they will let others to view the exchange. And one should keep legality in mind, that teleconsultation, whenever we provide, it is very important to have a correct, accurate documentation, just like your in-person documentation. Even if you have a phone call, those call logs need to be kept. So if it is an electronic record, you will have a call data and everything has been in place, but the logs need to be kept. Similarly, record keeping is also very important. For normal records 3 years, and medical legal records 7 years. Even it holds good for the teleconsultation as well. And similarly, the teleconsultation call should be regarded as how we are in the OPD patient. So the same attire and same personality and same protocol should be followed. And very important that all the doctors, all registered medical practitioners doctors, should get this mandatory certification from the Telemedicine Society of India. And they said that all the registered medical practitioners should get this course certified to practice telemedicine legally in India. So this is something all doctors should keep in mind, and which is available through this. I will also put in the chat box, but it should be used, and it should be, one should get certified for and get that certificate to practice telemedicine in India. And now, after initial month, when we had this teleconsultation by telephone system, then we developed an LVPI teleconsultation app, which we call Connect Care, in which we have used a bot, which will be able to a kind of a decision system, and will be able to direct the patient which department can sit in for the new patient. And if the patient is an existing patient, will be able to automatically schedule an appointment, and one can actually go to the payment depending on the necessity. In the LVP model, we have both paying and non-paying patients. So if a non-paying patient, because equity is also one should keep in mind when you are approaching the teleconsultation. So we have kept in a way the system that if a surgical 1 week follow-ups or the non-paying patients, when they enter their number, no charge will be done. So we have kept those systems in place. And in the process, we simultaneously we were actually developing systems which can be integrated in the portal, like which visual acuity app will be better to integrate in the portal, and also how we can integrate the smartphone selfie imaging photographs, how they can upload. So the bot actually allows the patient to upload the photographs, everything, whatever their previous records or every information that is available, and the doctor will be able to do the teleconsultation. And this doctor will also have a consulting phase app where we are having all the appointments which are there for that particular day, and one can actually tackle. And we are also trying to look at newer areas of reaching the patients in the corona time, especially by doing something called home care, where a technician can actually go with the necessary instruments to the possible location. Either could be old age homes or geriatric patients who cannot come to the hospital. We can actually integrate. We are trying to see the possibilities of integrating in the Connect Care system. And this whole thing is built on our existing iSmart in electronic medical record system. And teleophthalmology, as I said, this is what I've discussed was all after Corona, that is the Connect Care app. But teleophthalmology has been there in our pyramidal model right from the beginning in terms of the network. Almost from 2017, we have actually connected our vision centers, that the primary eye care centers, through the command center that is located in the Center of Excellence through teleophthalmology, where regularly on a day average around 150 teleconsultations will be reached, which require, based on the specific indications, the consults will be happening at the command center. So we actually given a specific indication. So the vision technician is empowered to, they have been said that these are the indications at which you should be referring to the secondary, to the command center for the ophthalmologist to give the opinion. Similarly, we also developed a secondary center referral system indications. As I said, the triage, management of medication, and also 1 week post-operative patients of all the cataract surgical patients, we are trying to manage through teleconsult alone. And these specific indications will also help us to tell us, so that there is no unnecessary referral, and only the referral will be done where the disease requiring. And audit is also possible because the images are taken for all the patients. Similarly, specialty-wise referral indications also has developed for each department, so that the teleconsultation process becomes smooth, and which can be managed by teleconsult alone, and which can be managed by intermittent televisits. So these are the indications that has been kept for the each department. And image is the most important. So image protocol also has been given at the primary level, that at least one external face and two anti-segment images, and as well as the two posterior segment images. And it is very important to give specific indications, because a good image is what will lead to appropriate management, and that will result in excellent patient care. And we do have a 3D printing type of innovation, Cyclops, which actually can give a focused, clear anti-segment image. It's like a slit lamp adapter. And definitely it is important to get good image, otherwise the teleconsultation process cannot go smoothly. So these are all few pictures which have been taken from the vision technician. To motivate them, we also select at the end of the day, we have an electronic WhatsApp group of the VTs, and at the end of the day we do post picture of the day every day to motivate. And also it's a learning experience for the other vision technicians. And all our vision technicians during this corona time, we even had a chance of diabetic, because one of interest areas of mine is capacity building of diabetic retinopathy screening and guidelines by the technicians and optometrists. So when we have done the training, almost around 60 vision technicians already finished certification by the diabetic retinopathy grading from the University of Melbourne. Why it is important? Because if they do these certifications, they can actually take better images, because an empowered person who does the imaging, when they know about the condition, they will actually take the pictures better. And when you have a good picture, then you have a good diagnosis and good teleophthalmology. So these are the few pictures which taken by the vision technicians, and which are related to the teleophthalmology command center. So on average in 2019-2020, we had 35,000 teleconsultations which were managed by the command center alone. And so we can see the CPs. And then and also the lot of corneal foreign body trauma are managed by the command center ophthalmologists by visualizing these pictures, and also by through Skype call involved, and they were able to manage these consultations. And very important to understand that it is not that only simple problems like conjunctivitis or stye or will come to the primary eye care. One can it is also we will get a complex problems which can be just managed by a photograph, like a ocular cancers also we can get through the teleophthalmology. And that way we can actually, when we see this an image at the vision center, one can immediately transfer to a tertiary care without any further problem. And in fact, we had developed a color coding system. So those pictures which those conditions which needs attention immediately, the vision technician and doctor will make it as a red color, so that it will be attended immediately within a week, and within 2 weeks as yellow color. And the green color has been coded, so that the consultation will be able to track that can be managed by only command center teleconsultation alone. And this is what I was discussing, the tablets. So the whole pyramidal network of LVP is having electronic record, and it is all completely digitized. So these are the tabs that are there for the vision technicians, and more innovations Vineet will be sharing. And these are user friendly, and for the VTs to capture images. And this is a folding phoropter is another innovation, where the patient himself can check accurately nearest spherical equivalent of the refractive power by checking the target. And this is a simple PDF, which is again the Vineet does a lot of innovation thing in his talk. He will share more. So simple instructions when we give to the patients, they will be able to get you best pictures. And this we have seen even in our rural lockdown time. We could get 500 telecons from our villages patients. So even rural patients are tech savvy. So technology is every there. Only the guidance should be given how they can take the images. Then one important thing we were looking at is the objective measure of any visual acuity. At least we should have one objective measure when we do teleconsultation, that is visual acuity. So we were thinking what we should do. So we actually checked that there is a peak visual acuity for distance visual acuity. There is one other app called Smart Optometry app which can measure mainly near visual acuity. When we have tested these in the as a testing with comparison with the Complug, that is standard in-person visual acuity measurement, this whole study we have done as a expedited manner in this corona time, to so that we can integrate these apps in our teleophthalmology portal. What we have found is that the distance visual acuity is remains comparable with for all the age groups. So that means the peak acuity actually fared very well between the at all age groups, both young and old, in comparison to Complog. Whereas smart optometry was able to do well in the diseased, like myopia or high refractive errors, but in emmetropia it was not able to measure the good vision, but was fairly reasonable to use in a diseased population, but that can only measure the near visual acuity. So one can actually go with the peak acuity app safely because it was measuring very accurately in any teleophthalmology portal. And this can be easily downloadable. We have even seen the user friendliness, whether the patients can download, and one can actually through a video call can even one can train your an attendant when they come for consultation how we can use at 2 meters distance, and one can actually have a measure when they come for your appointment, and in the follow-up teleconsultation you can ask them to actually use the same app and give you an accurate accurate measure of the visual acuity. Then one interesting observation is interesting innovation that we had in our teleophthalmology is drone slit lamp. So this is something, a robotic slit lamp, and in which the eyepieces are actually replaced by a CCTV camera. Mukesh Taneja from LV Prasad Institute, he did a lot of pioneering work in this area. Along with the inventor of the drone slit lamp is actually Jan Perel from Miami Group. And what we have, it has been extensively used by especially checking the like for example, if you have a specialty, you have done a cardiac transplant surgery in a remote location and you want to see your post-ops, how they are doing well, what is the exact measure. Sometimes only the photograph will not give you the three-dimensional effect and also the real in-time look. So where here the drone slit lamp, without any touching the patient, one can actually remotely control and can actually look at the consultation. So this is a drone slit lamp also requires, it's a technically demanding, but once you set up the system and once you get used to the system, this is going to have a lot of value. And these innovations are going to take a lot of important role as we move on into the COVID time, and probably it is when we look at the patients, we want no touch technique, and this is something going to play a very, very important role. Vineet will share more details in his talk. So to conclude, what I would like to say is that LVPA teleophthalmology model, now the comprehensive eye care, the term has been replaced in the recent World Report on Vision as a people-centered eye care. So whatever the technology that we have, we want to see that the technology integrated people-centered eye care solution, so that all may see with excellence, equity, and efficiency. Thank you.